Leading our countdown is Horizon Forbidden West, a technical showcase that demonstrates the full capabilities of PlayStation 5 hardware through breathtaking environmental detail and character fidelity. Guerrilla Games pushes visual boundaries with lush, post-apocalyptic landscapes featuring dense vegetation that reacts realistically to Alloy's movements and weather systems. The machine designs are incredibly intricate, with individual components visible and destructible during combat, each piece rendered with metallic surfaces that reflect light convincingly. Facial animations during conversations capture subtle emotions through advanced motion capture technology that makes every character interaction feel genuine. The game utilizes ray tracing for realistic water reflections in rivers and oceans, while volumetric clouds create stunning sunset and sunrise sequences. Performance mode maintains smooth 60 frames per second without significant visual compromise, while fidelity mode delivers native resolution with enhanced lighting effects. Underwater sections showcase particle effects and marine life with remarkable clarity. The variety of biomes, from tropical beaches to snowy mountains, each have distinct visual characteristics with appropriate flora and fauna. Taking second place, Demon's Souls Remake represents Bluepoint Games' masterclass in visual reconstruction that transforms the original into a next-generation technical marvel. The game recreates Boletaria with photorealistic stonework, atmospheric fog effects, and lighting that creates genuinely foreboding atmospheres throughout each archstone. Character models feature incredibly detailed armor sets with visible wear, scratches, and material properties that respond accurately to environmental lighting. Enemy designs benefit from the visual upgrade with grotesque details that make encounters more visually striking and disturbing. The game runs at smooth 60 frames per second in performance mode while maintaining exceptional visual quality throughout. Particle effects during magic casting and combat create spectacular moments without impacting performance. Environmental destruction shows realistic debris physics as objects shatter convincingly. The lighting engine creates dramatic shadows that shift dynamically based on torch placement and spell effects. Boss arenas are visually stunning, with massive scale creatures rendered in meticulous detail. Ray tracing enhances reflective surfaces on polished floors and water, adding visual depth to castle interiors and swamp areas. At number 3 sits Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, a game designed specifically to showcase the PS5's unique capabilities through dimensional rifts and instant loading. The visual spectacle comes from seamless transitions between completely different worlds with no loading screens, each dimension featuring distinct art styles and environmental details. Insomniac Games delivers stunning particle effects during weapon usage, with ray-traced reflections that enhance the colorful explosions and energy beams. Character fur rendering on Ratchet shows individual strands moving realistically with advanced physics simulation. The variety of planets ranges from neon-soaked cyberpunk cities to lush organic worlds filled with alien vegetation. Performance mode maintains consistent frame rates, while fidelity mode adds ray-traced reflections and enhanced lighting. The dimensional rifts create reality-bending visual effects as environments morph and blend together. Enemy designs are creative and detailed, with robotic opponents showing mechanical complexity. Photo mode reveals the incredible attention to detail in every scene, from background architecture to foreground characters. Gran Turismo 7 claims 4th position as the most visually realistic racing simulation available, delivering automotive photography-level car models and track recreations. Polyphony Digital's obsessive attention to detail results in vehicles with accurate paint finishes, interior materials, and mechanical components that mirror real-world counterparts. Ray tracing transforms reflections on car bodies, showing surrounding environments and other vehicles with photorealistic accuracy. Track surfaces display realistic asphalt textures with visible imperfections, rubber buildup in racing lines, and appropriate weathering. Lighting systems create stunning time-of-day transitions with accurate sun positions and shadow lengths. Weather effects like rain create dynamic track conditions with puddle formation and spray from other vehicles. The replay mode showcases cinematic camera angles that highlight the visual fidelity with slow-motion shots revealing suspension movement and tire deformation. Cockpit views feature fully modeled interiors with functional gauges and switches. Scapes mode allows placing cars in real-world photographed locations with lighting that matches the environment perfectly. The Last of Us Part 1 takes 5th place with its comprehensive remake that brings the original story to current generation standards with significantly enhanced visuals. Naughty Dog rebuilds environments with higher polygon counts, improved texture resolution, and enhanced lighting that creates more atmospheric post-apocalyptic settings. Character models receive complete overhauls with facial animations that convey emotional nuance during intimate story moments. The fungal infections on clickers and other infected show disturbing organic detail, with bioluminescent growth rendered beautifully. Performance mode delivers smooth 60 frames per second gameplay, while fidelity mode adds enhanced shadows and environmental detail. The game features improved AI behaviors that make encounters feel more dynamic and unpredictable. Environmental destruction shows realistic material responses as objects break convincingly. Weather effects and particle systems create atmospheric moments during exploration sequences. Audio design complements visuals with spatial sound that enhances immersion. Accessibility options ensure the visual experience remains customizable for different player needs. Spider-Man 2 swings into 6th position, with Insomniac delivering their most visually impressive Marvel game through enhanced character models and expanded city detail. New York City receives significant visual upgrades, with more pedestrians, vehicle variety, and building interiors visible through windows. The symbiote effects on Peter's suit create dynamic visual changes, with black tendrils that react to combat and movement. Web swinging showcases impressive draw distances with minimal pop-in, thanks to optimized streaming technology. Character faces during cutscenes display remarkable detail, with skin textures, eye movements, and subtle expressions that enhance dramatic moments. The addition of Queens and Brooklyn expands the playable area, with distinct architectural styles and neighborhood characteristics. Ray-traced reflections on building windows create realistic city reflections during web-swinging sequences. Combat particle effects from abilities create spectacular visual feedback without cluttering the screen. Day and night cycles affect lighting dramatically, with neon signs and streetlights creating different atmospheres. Performance mode maintains consistent frame rates during intense action sequences. Photo mode captures the game's visual splendor with extensive customization options. Final Fantasy XVI arrives at number 7, delivering high fantasy visuals through detailed character models and spectacular icon battles that reshape environments. Square Enix creates a medieval world with realistic material rendering on armor, cloth, and environmental surfaces. The icon summon battles are visual spectacles that transform into kaiju-scale confrontations with reality warping effects and environmental destruction. Character animations during combat flow smoothly, with motion-captured performances that make sword fights feel weighty and impactful. Facial expressions during story sequences convey emotional depth through detailed skin rendering and eye animation. The various regions feature distinct biomes, from desert wastelands to lush forests, with appropriate vegetation and atmospheric effects. Particle effects during magic usage create colorful displays that pop against the darker color palette. Performance mode prioritizes smooth action, while graphics mode enhances visual fidelity with improved shadows and effects. Lighting creates dramatic contrasts between shadowed areas and illuminated spaces. The game uses motion blur effectively during fast-paced sequences without sacrificing clarity. Returnal takes 8th place, with Housemarque crafting an alien world that combines organic and technological elements into disturbing visual designs. The procedurally generated environments maintain visual consistency while varying layouts with each cycle through the planet. The alien architecture features biomechanical designs with surfaces that pulse and shift unnervingly. Particle effects during combat are exceptional, with bullet patterns creating mesmerizing displays against the dark environments. The DualSense integration enhances visual feedback, with haptic responses that complement on-screen action. Ray tracing adds depth to the environments, with reflections on wet surfaces and metallic structures. Enemy designs range from floating constructs to grotesque organic creatures, each rendered with disturbing detail. The game maintains 60 frames per second consistently, even during particle-heavy combat scenarios. Biome variety keeps visuals fresh, from crimson forests to underwater facilities with distinct color palettes. Lighting effects create atmospheric tension with strategic use of shadows and illumination. Death sequences feature spectacular visual effects as reality fragments around Celine. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut claims 9th position, with Sucker Punch's samurai epic receiving PS5 enhancements that elevate the already beautiful aesthetic. The island of Tsushima showcases natural beauty through fields of swaying grass, autumn leaves that scatter in the wind, and dynamic weather that transforms the landscape. The game uses a distinctive color palette with vibrant reds, golds, and greens that create painterly compositions during exploration. Character models feature detailed armor with fabric physics that react to movement and environmental conditions. Combat animations are fluid and cinematic, with sword strikes that feel impactful through visual and audio feedback. The photo mode is exceptional, with filters that emulate classic samurai films, including black and white options with film grain. Environmental lighting creates dramatic moments during golden hour, with sun rays filtering through tree canopies. Iki Island expansion adds new locations with volcanic terrain and coastal areas that expand visual variety. Performance improvements on PS5 deliver 60 frames per second in both resolution modes. The haptic feedback integration enhances combat feel without being intrusive. Rounding out the list at 10, God of War Ragnarok concludes the Norse saga, with Santa Monica Studio pushing visual boundaries across all 9 realms. The game features incredible environmental variety, from the frozen wastes of Fimbulwinter to the fiery depths of Muspelheim, each realm rendered with distinct visual characteristics. Character models show exceptional detail, with Kratos and Atreus featuring realistic skin textures, facial animations, and armor that displays battle damage. The animation quality during combat creates fluid transitions between attacks, blocks, and abilities that feel responsive and weighty. Boss encounters are visually spectacular, with massive creatures that maintain detail even at enormous scales. The Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos feature enhanced particle effects with ice and fire elements that react to environmental conditions. Facial performances during story sequences capture emotional nuance through advanced motion capture technology. The game maintains performance mode at 60 frames per second, while quality mode enhances resolution and effects. Lighting creates atmospheric moments, whether exploring dark caves or standing before the golden walls of Asgard. Photo mode allows capturing the stunning vistas and character moments throughout the journey.